Hello everyone, after half a year I have finally decided to actually continue this survival series. But before we begin, unfortunately the world that was seen in the other two videos is gone. For reasons. So I have made another world with basically the same things. Go to this time if you don't care about the recap, and as always the specific times of the video are in the description. Anyways, I spawned in, gathered stuff, then began exploring and found Pig King on day 2 with the swamp right next to him. Meanwhile, I cut down some living trees and killed koalefants when I saw them. On day 4 I found a beefalo with a rock biome close enough, and then I jumped through a wormhole and found the cactus desert. On day 6 I found the tumbleweed desert through another wormhole. Around that area I found a second deciduous biome with some clockworks in it, and I settled in that spot because it was pretty close to everything, but mostly because it looked cool. I then made a berry farm and 2 bee boxes, which, spoiler alert, I never actually used. And then finally I made the pig farm. The only thing that changed is that I crafted a winter hat instead of a beefalo hat, because I almost killed an entire herd of beefalo trying to get the horn. So if you have a beefalo hat, then congratulations, you are already doing better than me. Anyways, now that we're all caught up, let's begin. Except not, because I actually forgot something. Something I somehow forgot to mention in 2 videos. The Tusk camp. The Tusk camp spawns in a small green area surrounded by the forest. They will not be here in the autumn, but it will be the first thing we visit during winter. Before you go, make sure to put on your winter hat / beefalo hat and pick up your thermal stone, which should always be warming up by a fireplace. While we walk there, you may be wondering why we should kill this Tusk guy. Mostly because he drops 2 really good items. The walrus tusk, which can be crafted into the walking cane, and the tam o'shanter. The walking cane makes you move faster, which is always good, while the tam o'shanter is a hat that easily raises your sanity when you wear it. The only thing is they have a 25% chance to drop, so you'll probably have to come back every 4 days when he respawns. Now that we're here, the first thing you want to do is kill his 2 cows. Don't worry about dodging their attacks since Tusk fires an unavoidable dart at you, so you might as well tank them. After they are dead, you can chase Tusk until he gives up and you kill him. Today I get insanely lucky because I got the walrus tusk and the tam o'shanter from a single Tusk. This means I never have to come back here during the whole winter. However, don't be surprised if this isn't the case for you and you have to visit him multiple times to get the loot. Once I get back to my base, I make the pigs fight each other for easy meat. Next thing we want to do is upgrade our light source. You may have noticed that crafting a torch every night isn't resource efficient. That is why we are mining the sim coal to enter the caves. While you're in here, you will want to gather around 20 light bulbs from this light plant. Be sure to collect the grass and twigs in here, since they do not regrow during winter, and you will need all the resources you can get. After that, exit the caves and you can craft a lantern. The lantern is basically a better torch that you can refuel with light bulbs. Because of this, I keep them in the icebox so I can refuel them every now and again. But the best part about it is that you can drop it and it will still emit light. This pretty much means you can do things like chop trees at night without having to build a campfire. I then built a second icebox and cooked my spoiling monster meat to feed it to the bird for fresh eggs. In the last video, I said we would build a shadow manipulator from the magic tab, which is what we will do now. However, we need living logs, nightmare fuel, and a purple gem to make it. And right now, you probably only have the living logs. Nightmare fuel is the easiest to get. Simply lower your sanity to the lowest point you can using mushrooms and kill the shadow creatures that spawn. These guys look more scary than they actually are. Just dodge their tiny attack and then hit them. Repeat this process until you get the nightmare fuel. The most dangerous thing about insanity is the Insanity Town that plays, so I turned my sound down. You can thank me later. The only time fighting nightmare creatures gets hard is when there's 2 of them, but even then it is manageable, especially with armor. While you are grinding away getting nightmare fuel, gather some wood and rocks. Get some ice if you see it as well. It can be used to make meatballs instead of berries, which will keep you fed during winter. To get the purple gem, you will need to combine a red and blue gem. Get those gems, you must find some graves, craft a shovel, and get digging. You'll mostly find random toys whose only purpose is to be given to the picking for gold, but eventually you will get some gems. And in this case there was 2 gems right next to each other. Once you get back to base, make the purple gem in the refine tab and then craft the shadow manipulator. What have you done? You have crafted the dark sword, the best weapon in the game. It requires nightmare fuel and a living log to make, and for now we will leave it right there. As long as you have nightmare fuel, you'll be able to continually craft dark swords, which is why I'm insane for pretty much the rest of the video. But in order to get living logs, you will need to kill a tree guard. To spawn a tree guard, just chop some trees and eventually he will spawn. Eventually. I said eventually he will, and there he is. His fighting pattern is pretty easy, just hit him 3 times and dodge. If you have the walking cane, you can switch it out to dodge his attack faster like I am doing. After he is dead, he will reward you with a massive 6 living logs and 1 monster meat. Unfortunately, that is where the footage ends. The rest of the video got corrupted, so I made a new world to demonstrate what I did next, which in all honesty isn't much. I killed some spiders for silk so I can craft a sewing kit and repair my winter hat. And that is pretty much it. You can leave the video now, nothing else to see. Nothing else happens during winter, I promise. Which is a lie. In Don't Starve Together, on day 30, Deerclops comes to absolutely annihilate you. You will hear his growl during the night, which means you should run away and build a campfire far, far away from your base. You will need around 2 football helmets or log suits, and a 100% dark sword and some jerky for this fight. Say hello to Deerclops, the destroyer of noobs. His attack pattern is basically hit him 3 times and then dodge. If you are fast enough, you can achieve 4 hits before his attack. Once he drains your sanity, eat some jerky or cooked green caps to fill it back up. The reason for this is because you don't want to fight nightmare creatures and the Deerclops at the same time. Not a good idea. Eventually he will die and you will get his drops. If you are playing Don't Starve Together, he will also drop a figure sketch, which is unimportant right now, and later too. Take it with you if you want, but you don't need it. His eye can be used to craft the umbrella, which is very good protection from rain and will be helpful in the next season. Is fighting too hard for you? Because lucky for you, there is another way, and it's called tanking. You will need some more armor and healing, but it is much easier to do. Simply stand at the campfire and hold F. Yep, that's it. While I am fighting him, let me tell you some Deerclops facts. Unlike in Don't Starve Together, Deerclops comes randomly during winter in the single player version of the game. He even has a chance to not come at all. Anyway, now that he is dead, I went and gathered rocks for the rest of the winter, and congratulations, you have survived the winter. And that is the end of the video. The next part will come out eventually, I promise. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.